going on YouTube, social media world? It's your boy AnonymousBased and I'm biggity back with a new reaction video. This time I'm here with something brand new from It's Complicated. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give this video a like, share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section. So, we are here with something brand new from It's Complicated. Shout out to you, big bro. And the name of this video is called Feminism Is Revenge.
Ultimate combo.
Rules of modern dating and understanding women. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm interested to see what he's going to say on this one. Let's see.
Why is it more socially acceptable for women to hate men than it is for men to hate women?
Because men are the devil.
Because men are trash. Well, you know what? See, I'm contributing to the stigma. But like,
there you
there's
go.
more sus men than there are sus women. It's just facts, and that's all I gotta say about it. So it's a double standard because there's more sus men than there are sus women. The end.
Should anybody be hating anybody?
No.
No.
If it's acceptable for women to hate men, how are men and women ever supposed to get together?
Good question. Good question.
That is a good question.
I don't think it's acceptable for women to hate men.
It's not really acceptable for women to hate men unless they give us a reason to.
I got a phone call.
But hello.
Should men be willing to go to war and fight for a country that hates them?
Absolutely not. I don't think war makes sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
I don't think war is ever the answer.
No, absolutely not.
Ever.
No.
I think men naturally are more athletic, they're stronger than women.
All right.
Whether
All right.
we like to admit it or not, it's the truth.
What can you do when you need to sound like yourself, but warmer and more concise?
If men are more valued in society than women, why would they be the first ones sacrificed in war?
Because they think they're more valued. They're being paid for more for everything.
Stop the cap.
You put your ass online.
Woman would never be seen fighting, right? So it was the man's job. It was their duty.
But they be
Kind of,
steady
that was, like,
preaching
the
that we're
gender.
equal,
I
right?
agree with it now, but then that's probably what it would have been.
Have you ever personally been denied the right to vote?
Never. Nope.
No.
Would you give up your right to vote if it meant you got drafted into the army?
No, they wouldn't.
Yes.
Would you
Dad,
give up your right
what?
to vote if it meant you got drafted into the army?
No, you wouldn't. There you go. Thank you.
Probably would not vote.
Yeah, see?
What if I told you that voting rights originally required you to be drafted into war and own land?
I remember back in the beginning of the United States, that was the law. I remember that. Yeah, I read it in books.
And I think like sometimes to apply for colleges, like boys have to, or if you want scholarships, you have to agree to be drafted as well, which I think is crazy.
Why are the men of today expected to pay for the sins of the men of the past?
Because they still keep making the same mistakes.
Stop the cap. No, we don't.
So is feminism about revenge?
No, feminism is about our right to be allowed.
I think it's a base level of equality that we're trying to reach over here, and as long as we can get to that, then I think we're chilling, but we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Wage gaps and shit, absolutely whack.
Maybe more now than when it started. When it started, women just wanted to be recognized, but some like any other thing.
But
like,
what is it now?
Religion or anything, it went overboard.
I
There
think
you
we
go.
hold a lot of grudges in our society, not just for men, but for a lot of things in the past, and we need to do a better job at staying present.
Why did the women of the past, who had less rights, also have less hatred for men than the women of today?
Because of social media.
Because they couldn't say anything. They were depending on the man. If they say anything, the man would just like beat her or stop paying for her or ignore her completely.
Stop the
I think it was just a cultural thing. Now we are having more conversations about inequality, and a lot of emotions come up, and it turns into hatred for a lot of people.
Why do you think that young women today feel more oppressed despite the fact that they didn't go through the hard times that older women supposedly went through?
Because of social media.
There we go.
Because young people today expect everything in their without working for it.
Oh.
As we've seen times change, we've come to realize that we need to be treated equally. And with the creation of social media, there's come with a lot of like unrealistic standards for women, like along with beauty standards, as well with like behavioral standards. Like there's a lot of pressure on women to act a certain way and look a certain way in media. Like that is one thing that you cannot deny. And whereas like, and yeah, there's the same thing with men where it's like 6-packs on billboards, but you see a lot more women plastered on these billboards with these like beauty standards and like behavioral standards, especially depicted in movies.
Why don't we acknowledge that if women had it bad, men usually had it worse? Weren't men also oppressed?
Well, there's always been an oppression
Yes.
because there's always been more like even white men. They were richer, and then there were richer and kings and this and that. So there's always been oppression, and there'll probably always be.
Okay, then.
Even though it's not a good thing.
Okay.
Didn't men have harsher tasks placed upon them? Weren't men sacrificed under more hazardous conditions?
Perhaps, but they also required women to do specific things, and they were not allowed to do things that men could do.
Back then, women weren't allowed to work. They had to stay home. So that's why it seems like men had all the trouble.
They were expected to take care of their families, their wives, put food on the table, like back in the day, and they didn't, like, they just did it. They didn't.
And y'all still expect that today?
Coal mining, or, you know, like jobs like that. Like, they didn't think about the health stuff and like that.
Right. Do you know how many men died building the Hoover Dam?
Yes, or the railway in BC. Like, you know, like it was expected of them, and they just went to work, and the women were supposed to take care of the house. And
if society was controlled by men, patriarchy, how would feminism be a movement that's gained traction without the help of men?
Check this out. You guys need to calm down on feminism, because I'm not taking out trash.
I mean, that crane behind you, how'd you like to be crawling up on that construction crane right there?
Are we allowed to? I'll do it right now.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't.
Stop the cap.
It took men to back the women, but the women started it. I mean, we still, even though we're feminists, we still need men for just.
Man, come on, bro.
Patriarchy doesn't mean that men control every single narrative out there. I just think that because men are typically in those more powerful positions, that's what creates it. But it doesn't mean women still don't have a voice.
Where did all these laws come from that protect women and punish men?
Overbalance. Before, nobody would, like, women were completely left to themselves.
Cut that out, you little bastard!
Taking power, and they went overboard.
Man.
It should be more in the middle.
I'm not sure exactly what laws you're talking about.
Well, like family courts, things like that.
Yeah, you do. Stop the cap.
I don't know where they came from, but actually when I was little, I really wanted to be a divorce attorney for dads because I felt it was really unfair that they weren't well represented.
Can you think of any behaviors people used to have that are no longer acceptable by today's standards?
Well, the husband were coming back from work and expecting his wife to be all dressed up, all with the meal on the table and the pipe and the glass of scotch, and it's too much.
Too much?
Cancel somebody for something that, like, the cancel culture is like, they go back and try to cancel people for stuff that happened a long time ago, but that was a different time, you know? So in that time, it was okay. Now, the cancel culture in this day and age, I feel like are a bit much, because some of the things are like, yeah, I understand, but some of the things are like, okay, like, you know.
So should people be held accountable by today?
Like what?
Everything you wish for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing until this happens. Be careful.
By today's standards for behaviors that were acceptable at the time.
Yes, they should be held accountable.
Isn't that cancel culture?
Yes, I think there should be a conversation so that people can grow, but to expect people to have been perfect their entire lives and to hold them to what happened in the past, I just think is not okay.
History literally repeats itself, from like crimes to clothing to just everything, treatment of people, everything literally gets repeated.
Today we have mass shootings, climate change, the culture war, inflation, poverty, human rights, cancel culture, etc. What's better and what's worse?
All of it is horrible, thanks to Joe Biden.
Oh!
There's bad things in our history. There's good things in our history. There's bad things right now. There's good things right now. I think it's all about what you choose to focus on.
What does your ideal society look like?
Great economy, low gas prices, low interest rates.
Freedom, people expressing who they are, not judging other people for who they are.
Would you agree that when our country was founded, there were a lot of mistakes made, like, for example, slavery?
Yes.
Yes, but back then they didn't know any better.
Since we were a young country, would
They
you
knew
compare those
better.
errors to the mistakes a young child makes until he's mature enough to know better?
Oh, that's a tough question, because we don't know what they were thinking back in the day.
To the mistakes a young child makes until he's mature enough to know better.
Up to a point, yes.
Would you consider the society built by men in the past had mistakes as well?
Yes.
What are those mistakes?
Uh-oh.
Well, the fact that,
Uh-oh.
like, the right to vote, you had to own a land, have a certain standing. It's
how's that a mistake?
The land is for everybody, so you don't. It's not just up to a few to.
How is that a
decide what's gonna
mistake?
happen.
Is it fair for the women of today to hate the men currently for the mistakes of the men in the past?
No.
Do you think the women do hate the men of today, and if so, how?
Maybe, because they're holding on to grudges of the past.
A lot of times we blame other people for our own emotions and things that we wish were different, rather than taking accountability ourselves.
But we need to look forward, move forward, and go from there.
Does a mother continue to resent her child for all of the bad things children do when they're developing?
No, I don't think so. A mother's love is unconditional.
It is sometimes that you do kind of hold on to things. That's why it's best to let things go on all levels. Mother, wife, sister, doesn't matter. Just learn how to deal with it and let it go.
Why do women say the past doesn't matter when it comes to their body count, but the past does matter when it comes to the historical oppression they didn't personally experience?
I don't understand what you're saying. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. What's
Stop
body
the
count?
cap.
Body weight?
Man.
We're English, right? So body count's body weight, right?
Body count means how many people you've been with.
Oh, how many people I've been with? Oh.
Yeah.
Why do women don't remember how many people we've been with?
No.
Listen, no one needs to know how many people we've been with. That's secret to us, right?
Cut that out, you little
I've been
bastard.
One man. I've got married today.
Oh,
Married
congratulations.
today.
Okay.
15 years, one man. He don't need to know my history.
Check this out. Your body count matters.
You just
They're
said
all
it.
Men and women. Body counts matter.
Do you think body count matters more to men or to women?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so then
Damn,
once
son,
again, why does
where'd
the
you
past
find this?
not matter, but the past does matter? Why does history matter when it comes to, like, women's rights?
Because it should. I'm not being funny. When I'm standing there with a man or my bloke, and next minute it's like, I had sex with that person. Well, hang on, you told me you had sex with 5 people. So now I'm on the 10th person that you're counting. So it does matter. You know.
But I'm saying your personal history doesn't matter, but the history does matter when it comes to women's rights.
Well, we're complicated people.
Got him. All right, okay, man. Shout out to It's Complicated for coming through with the fire video called Feminism Is Revenge. Alright, so first impressions of me watching this for the first time, man, there was a whole lot of capping going on the whole video.
Stop the cap.
Whole lot of cap. I would say a good almost 100%, like 95% of the video was cap.
Stop the cap.
I'm talking about just lies after lies after lies.
You lie! You lie! Lies! Lies! When will the lies end?
Stop the cap.
But overall, it was great because he used this opportunity to frame the questions in a way to where they had no choice but to admit the truth and acknowledge the logic of what's going on today and acknowledge the logic of what took place in the past. So shout out to It's Complicated. We're coming through with another fire compilation of street interviews. And yeah, that's pretty much my reaction, man. So if you like the video, go ahead and give this video a like. Share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section. It's your boy AnonymousBased. Peace.